All right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is August 7th, and it was Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Yankees and the Angels. And it was not a pretty night for the Yankees as the Angels were all over Will Warren. We'll talk about it in just a second. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
New York City.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
How's it going, everybody? I know how it's going. It's not going well if you're a Yankees fan. Sometimes you're the dog, and sometimes you are the hydrant. Yankees caught a good old-fashioned, passionate ass-whooping tonight from the Los Angeles Angels, which, when translated, literally means the Angels. Things got so bad tonight that the highlight of the Yes telecast was literally a kid drinking iced tea in the stands. That's what kind of game it was. And that was followed about 2 innings later by a conversation that was no less than 5 minutes long about expense reports. So this is just one of those games where, hey, just not a chance to win. We talk all the time about how, every team's going to win 50, every team's going to lose 50. It's what you do with the other 62. This is one of the ones you were going to lose because Will Warren got absolutely tattooed tonight. He got beaten like a drum, and, that happens. By the way, the kid with the tea was actually kind of impressive. I mean, it's not easy to chug one of those gigantic tea things. When I was a kid, we used to freeze those things and eat them with a spoon. Eat frozen iced tea. That was my jam. If you haven't done that, try it. But Yanks fell behind 6-0 early behind Will Warren. He got absolutely tattooed. And I promise I don't mean this next sentence as a joke, but I can see why the Yankees like him. I know that makes no sense, but mechanically speaking, his pitching delivery reminds me a lot of Michael King. The arm angle is similar. The sinker and slider shapes are similar. Michael King, I think, throws a little bit harder, but he reminded me a little bit of what Michael King looked like when he first got to the major leagues in 2020, and he had a 7.76 ERA. But you could see that the tools were there, and there's no question in my mind that Will Warren has the tools. But he did have a 6+ ERA in AAA, and obviously got pounded tonight. Michael King, by the way, having a very good year with the Padres, 9-6 with a 3.26 ERA. But the guy we got for him, Juan Soto, is doing pretty good too. I felt like Warren had some bad luck early in the game. There was some well-placed ground balls by the Angels that led to a run. But then once things started to spiral out of control, he tried to overthrow a little bit. That flattened out the sinker. He got up with the sinker. And it becomes batting practice for Major League hitters at that point. Could not get the train back on the tracks. And you look up in the middle of the game and it's 8 runs on the board for the Angels. So when that happens, 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose. But that's what it is. It's a young pitcher going through some growing pains, taking his pounding. But I promise you, the kid has some potential. Just the shapes of those pitches, the shapes of the slider and the sinker, he needs to get better with them for sure. But you can see why he's a top prospect. And I think that a little bit more time in the minor leagues, he could be pretty good. Weather tonight was obviously pretty bad, and they're calling for more bad weather tomorrow. So don't be shocked if the Yankees get rained out. There's an enormous amount of rain coming for the next few days. It's going to hit me as well. I kind of expect my internet at some point to go out because whenever we get rain that causes any kind of flooding or whatever, which we're projected to have, the internet has issues. So if you don't hear from me tomorrow, that's why. But honestly, this could be a good thing. Aside from having to play some, double headers, it's a nice break from the heat. You just had a double header today, so you can maybe get a day off tomorrow. But it's been an insanely hot summer, and a lot of these guys are looking kind of worn out. I needed a break from the heat personally. First summer with a bald head, and you see I went full head commando tonight. No hat, so that I can remind you guys what I have sacrificed for this organization. But yeah, I keep forgetting to put sunscreen on my head, and now it stings a little bit. But yeah, we're keeping the bald head. Jazz Chisholm had a bad day. He struck out 6 times in the 2 games. Giancarlo Stanton hit one pretty hard today. We had Anthony Volpe had a double in the first game. Other than that, not a whole lot of highlights. I mean, Narvaez had a decent game in the second game. Base hitting a couple of walks. His swing looks pretty good to me. But other than that, just not a lot of positives to take away from this game. Voicemails tomorrow. So a quick note, it's been a few days. We've been out of our normal rhythm because of the rain out and the off day. But we're going to break out the voicemail show again in the morning. So call in with your thoughts on the doubleheader, on Will Warren, on anything you want. And we'll talk about it. And we'll get after it in the morning. All right, let's get this recap out of the way so we can all call it a day. It's been a long day of baseball.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
First inning was not that bad. Neither team scored, but that was the high point, unfortunately. Angels scored 6 in the second, capped off by a grand slam from Neto, who also hit a home run in the first game. So the Yankees just couldn't get him out. They had no solutions for Neto today. Yankees got on the board with a vintage DJ LeMahieu-style ground ball through the right side to score Jazz Chisholm, who's super fun on the bases, but, again, had a tough night at the plate. Things got interesting for just a second. Gleyber Torres hit one right to the wall. I mean, it had that sound, just that clean contact, and he drilled it towards the right center field wall, but it got caught right at the top of the wall, and you had to wonder, did the rain knock that down? You know, a ball traveling through the rain, I mean, that's got to be some kind of resistance, right? So I think the rain may have played a factor in preventing that from being a 3-run home run. Another good sign from DJ LeMahieu in the bottom of the 4th inning, hard line drive double into the left field corner. Second hit of the game. He came in to score on a sac fly by Gleyber Torres. Warren was done after 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Tough night at the office for the kid. I thought Tonkin threw the ball pretty well tonight. But other than that, not a whole lot to write home about.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. If you ain't first, you're last.
All right, so let's take about, 10 minutes of comments and whatever, and then call it a night kind of early because we've all been watching baseball since about 4 p.m. Bia says, what will the lineup look like tomorrow? I don't think they're going to play tomorrow, honestly. I'm surprised they played today, but the rain tomorrow is going to be really bad, like really bad. So, yeah, I'm not predicting that they're going to even have a lineup, honestly. J. Malhotra says, Tonkin has been great. Tim Hill has been the only reliable lefty in the bullpen. Leiter still looks impressive. Yeah, so the one benefit or positive tonight about the pitching was the bullpen, which looked good. Mark Leiter's splitter is first class. I mean, it's an elite pitch. We saw what he did against the Blue Jays with it. I think he's going to be a nice pickup. De Los Santos, I think he's got decent stuff, but his mechanics are a little bit out of whack. I hope they're able to fine-tune those a little bit. But you can see why he gives up some home runs because the ball's going to sail on him. My guess is that when he's trying to go low and away to righties, a lot of times it's going to sail back over to the plate. That's just what I'm guessing from his mechanics because he pulls open on that front side, which drags that arm. So, you miss up and arm side. So if you're trying to pinpoint low and away and you got a problem giving up home runs, it probably means you're missing out over the plate with that. So... Kathy Casper says Padres Angels is an exciting game. Still going. I saw that Jackson Holliday hit another home run for the Orioles tonight. He's been on fire since they called him back up, and he's going to be a problem, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be a huge problem for a long time. I know he got off to a tough start when the Orioles first called him up, but he went down to AAA. He made some adjustments, and he's going to be nasty. Watch out for him. Jedi Sith Lord says DJ had a good game again. Maybe his swing's coming out of it. I mean, he had that grand slam. He had that 6 RBI game not too long ago, a couple of days ago. And tonight, obviously, more hard contact, drove the ball through the right side. That's what I was excited about, the way he waited on that pitch and timed it perfectly to slash it between the first and second baseman. That's the type of DJ LeMahieu hit that he would pick up with runners on base for years. The Jetarian single, right? And then he gets a high fastball, and he turned on it and ripped it into the corner. That's a really good sign. That's a really good sign. I still don't think he has a ton of power left because I don't think the feet are in great shape. He's had so many feet problems in the last couple of years that that's sapping some of his power. But he seems to be making better contact lately, which tells me at least his timing is getting better. If you can get DJ going, get DJ to be 70% of the hitter he once was, that would be huge down the last couple of months. But I want to see it for a few more weeks before I believe it that he's back. I want to see it against some good pitching too. Angels don't have a lot of pitching. Nate says, I honestly don't know why Warren had to start this game. I mean, quite frankly, it's because he's on the 40-man roster and they needed a starter. They needed somebody to eat some innings tonight because it was a doubleheader. That's why players hate doubleheaders, because you so often split them. It's very difficult to sweep a doubleheader. But look, there are positives in this outing from Will Warren. He had more strikeouts than innings pitched. He had 6 strikeouts, so he can get swings and misses at the major league level, right? And he took a beating. The only way you get better is by getting clocked once in a while. The best pitchers, Greg Maddux got hammered early in his career. Every pitcher needs to take their lumps, right? And learn what big league hitters can do to them if they leave the ball out over the plate. Maybe next time when he gets into trouble, he doesn't try and throw a little bit harder. Maybe he tries to back off a little bit and get more movement and go for more precise location. That's something that Jim Cott used to always talk about, that a lot of times when young pitchers get into trouble, they try and overthrow. And 2 things happen when you overthrow. You either walk guys because you lose command of the strike zone, or your ball flattens out. Like if you're a guy who relies on movement, like Will Warren does, some of that sink goes away, and it becomes basically a very hittable fastball. And I think that's partially what happened tonight. Obviously, the 3 walks didn't help. 8 hits. Some of them were ground balls with eyes. I get it. But I saw some positives in that mess, in that dumpster fire. There were some things that we can salvage. So, Action VJ says, how do players find out about a rainout? Coach's call or NYY group text? I'd imagine that there is a team employee who sends out an email to everybody. I'm sure they have email or text like every organization has. And, what happens when something happens at work and you can't go into the office? You get an email or you get a message or whatever. It's probably different for every team, but I'd imagine the Yankees have some kind of message system. I don't think Aaron Judge is calling Gleyber Torres like, yo, did you get, I don't think they're having a phone chain. But Dante Lozada says Soto seemed off timing today. Remember, he had that hand injury the other day. He re-injured that hand. So we don't know if that's bothering him. It could also just be, a bad day. Guys have bad days. Even Juan Soto, even the best of the best will have a bad day. But Yankee Gaming says, how you feeling about Soto's hand? It's starting to worry me. I mean, it'd be hard not to be worried if you're a Yankees fan. You saw him grimacing. You saw him, shaking and trembling on that hand the other day. Obviously, there's something wrong in there, and it's going to take some time to heal. And that's why I was saying, maybe another rain out tomorrow wouldn't be the end of the world. So, we'll see. Kevin Beery says, took Schmidt a few seasons. Is this what developing homegrown talent looks like? Yes. Yes. You have to have your growing pains. Every pitcher takes their lumps. Every pitcher. Bia says, another question, DJ or Rice at first base for now? I still like Rice against righties, but I think you got to get DJ some more at-bats against lefties, at least. If he's starting to swing the bat, we got to find out what's in there. But I'm a big Rice fan. I think Rice can be really good, but he's also hitting about 198 right now. So, anyway. Nathaniel Isaac says, Red Sox lost. All right. At least we have that going for us. What are the Orioles doing? Anybody got the score of the Orioles game? Let me pull up Baseball Theater real quick, and we'll take a look at some of the games going around Major League Baseball tonight. Royals they're up 8-4 on the Red Sox in the bottom of the eighth. Padres beating the Pirates. Mets and Rockies tied. Let's see what the Orioles got going on. Orioles beat the Blue Jays 7-3. Take a look at that Jackson Holiday home run, because he has got massive power. And that was his 4th home run. So let's take a look at the pitch. All right, let's go back. This is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's going to be up and in. Ooh, that's some bat speed, ladies and gentlemen. That is some bat speed. He knew he got it. And right fielder barely moves. Look at him. Just standing there looking up. And it lands up there in the little restaurant deck. So, yeah, Jackson Holiday is going to be a big problem going forward, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get some final thoughts here while we wrap it up. Let's see here.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Chiefs Kingdom says, what do you think the Royals will do at the end of the season? I have no idea. I don't really follow the Royals that closely, honestly. I know that they just signed Bobby Witt to that big extension. They're trying to get a new ballpark. I think it got rejected, though. I think the voters rejected it, whereas the one in Tampa Bay went through and got accepted. I know that they're trying to invest more in recent years. They're very cautious about their clubhouse chemistry because they've got a good clubhouse. Salvi Perez is awesome. I can see them adding like moderately priced players, but I don't think they're going to be big players for anything. I think they're going to continue to try and develop from within. Nathaniel Isaac says, if the Yankees don't win it all this year, he's all in with the Dodgers. Eesh. That's called being a fair weather fan, my friend.
Just a bit outside.
And Saber, who leaves this comment about once a week, says, trade for Joey Gallo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'm going to call it a day. Go ahead and call into the voicemail with your thoughts, and we'll get to it tomorrow morning. I'll see you next time.
Ball game on.